This screencast is on grading and the successful essay checklist for 102. I wanted to show you first and foremost the evaluation rubric that I use for all of the essays in this semester. So you're graded basically on 10 different criteria. Each section is worth 10 points each. So you have your overall format, MLA format. Those are those MLA doc specs that I've given you a screencast about, and you have a handout for that. That's the 4 lines of student information in the header, the running header that's in the upper right hand in the header box that has your last name and page number on all pages. 12-point Times New Roman font for the entire document, double spaced, 1-inch margins on all 4 sides. This should be the easiest 10 points that you get on every single essay. And you'd be surprised at the number of people that lose points every essay because they forget the running header, or they don't double space, or they don't use 12-point Times New Roman font. So this should be an easy 10 points every single time. So make sure you check out that doc specs document to help get you started on overall MLA format. The second area is the beginning. That is going to be your introduction. And I've listed several things that I'm looking for, and we'll talk about that when we get to the checklist in just a second. Organization, how your paragraph is organized. Is it logical? Do you use transitions? Do you follow your thesis? Do you use topic sentences in each body paragraph? Then you have your development. So I'm looking for, in this area, I'm not looking for plot summary. It's not a book report. I'm looking to make sure that your body paragraphs support your thesis. You're not drifting off the track or chasing a rabbit. I'm looking to make sure that you have fully explained your ideas, that the majority of the paper is in your writing, not quotes, and then the essay meets the length requirement given. It's not. I'm a little lenient with the length requirement. With these essays, I don't want them to be way over, but you do have a little bit of wiggle room under and over that final number. So don't stress over the length requirement as much as the meat of your paper. And then the paper contains a word count on the last page. You can put that down in your footer, or just at the very bottom of your paper so it doesn't show up on all paper pages. The next one is the literary analysis. So this is the area where I'm looking for the fact or checking to see if you do understand the text, if you're able to use those literary terms correctly that you're writing about. You're avoiding those sweeping generalizations that we talked about in academic voice, those no-nos like all people or all the women in the world know that. You want to avoid that, and to make sure that you're not confusing author and poet and narrator and speaker. So those are the components of literary analysis that I'm looking for. Your academic voice and style, that area, I'm looking for your middle to high diction, your unbiased voice, like that scientist examining the specimen, avoiding first and second person, not announcing. In this paper, I will talk about, you don't always avoid that. References to the text. You're writing about literature in the present tense. No author pats on the back. This is a great story, yada, yada, yada. You address the author by the last name in the body paragraphs. And you avoid weak language, like I think, it seems. And all those elements are listed on that, are listed, and we discussed it when we talked about developing your academic voice. MLA quoting, Goldilocks zone. I'm looking for, and I will typically give you a specific number that's your minimum for text quotes, or textual evidence quotes, or paraphrasing. So the Goldilocks zone basically means that you are not choosing, that you're choosing the right amount, you're choosing the best the ones that fit just right, just like Goldilocks, with what you need it to prove or to back up. And you're not over quoting. You're not putting 3 to 5 lines of quoted material. You are using succinct, specific sections of quotes to help drive your point home. Your quotes are accurate to the text. A lot of times, and I'm not doing this because I'm just out to get you, but I will highlight it in your paper and drop it in Google search and get it to pull it up in the text. Don't misquote quoted material. Be careful there. That you use lead ins to your quote. And if you'll check out that MLA doc specs document, all this information is kind of there for you. How to write a lead in, how to use correct punctuation spacing with your quoting, how to use parenthetical citations, which are those citations that come at the end of the quote, and that ending punctuation, and then how you're explaining that quote, and integrating it into your paper, and that they effectively support your thesis. The works cited page is the last page of your essay. Again, this should be the most simple 10 points that you get every time. I've actually given you your first works cited page, which is located in that doc specs document. You just have to recreate it. It's titled properly. The citations are in alphabetical order. The citations are formatted according to MLA standards, and the citations are properly spaced and grammatically correct. So make sure that you check that doc specs document for that information, and that you consistently use that same format every time. And then the last one is grammar and mechanics. If you had me last semester, and I'll probably, while I'm thinking about it, I'll go ahead and stick that grammatical list in the course documents. But you're trying to aim for very few to none grammatical and mechanical errors. You remember the big ones, comma splices, using commas without proper punctuation, sticking two sentences together with nothing but a comma is incorrect. You want to avoid those. Those are paper killers. Run-on sentences, fragments, and comma splices will kill a good paper. So be careful there. Make sure you proofread carefully, use your common sense, read your paper aloud. It always helps with you. If you will read it aloud to yourself, it'll help you catch a lot of those simple errors that are easy to fix before turning it in. So I have made this document for you under course documents, a successful essay checklist. Okay. You may want to print it out. It may be something that you want to keep, just to kind of help keep yourself on track. But this document is basically exactly what I just read over in a checklist, so that you can make sure that you're staying on track. So I've got little check boxes or little check lines out beside, and then you can run through your own paper, checking for the things that I'm going to be looking for with my rubric. Okay, so make sure that you utilize this document. Again, it's found at the very top under course documents. Utilize that successful essay checklist. Utilize your doc specs every time. Double check those MLA doc specs, and making sure that you're doing MLA format on your paper itself. Sorry, hold on. I don't know why it does that. So making sure that you're using those that doc specs document to check your overall MLA format, to check your quoted material MLA format, and your works cited page quoted format. Okay, so hopefully this helps. Again, if you have any questions, just email me or text.